Maybe some of you have a late model Williams game, and you're playing it, and you're like hitting both the flippers, and then the thing just turns off. And you're like, what the hell? And then you boot it, it comes back on. You're like, okay, let's play again. And it keeps doing it over and over again. That is a dreaded problem, a very common problem. And before, it took a bit of troubleshooting and a bit of work to get it to work. But the fine folks at Car Circuits have come up with this awesome little, we'll call it a daughter board, which will kind of solve, it's kind of a Band-Aid, but it also could be a permanent solution for that issue. We can go over to my Twilight Zone and we can kind of talk about it for a second, and then I can show you how to install it and how it works. So that problem stems from your big driver board here. This thing is overtaxed. It has one regulator that runs the 5 volts that goes to every other board in this, the contraption that is the pinball machine. And what happens is you do get a bunch of resistance that builds up, and again, 30 years later, right, you will need to start changing components and rebuilding things to make sure that 5 volts is strong enough to run your computer. What this device does is it intercepts the 12 volts, which also runs to the computer, and it has its own 5-volt regulator. So what it will do is it will ignore the 5 volts that's being sent from the driver board to the computer, take the 12 volts that is coming from the driver board, which is a rather strong circuit, make its own 5 volts to run the computer. If you were to want to fix something like this, you would do a lot of removal of boards and changing of components, and it turns into a lot of work. This, it's as simple as unplugging your power connector to the computer, plugging the daughter board into that connector, and then reapplying the power to the daughter board. You fire the game up, and you will have a stable, solid 5 volts running to your computer for some time. It's easy.